Radio Free Tatooine presents Galactic War Report, a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes podcast.
Boshuda, fellow holotable hustlers, you're tuned into Galactic War Report, a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes podcast that's better than some and worse than others. I'm Sean, a.k.a. the other Sean, and sitting across the holotable from me is a much healthier than I am, Josh, a.k.a. the Golden Pop-Tart.
Yeah, I mean, health, definitely I can say I'm there. But one thing I was really surprised about this week, 100%, we're going to talk about some Datacrons today. Changes.
Oh, we are. There's some interesting new hubbub about Datacrons, and it's not a set reveal.
No.
It's so much more. So we'll talk about that tonight. And then, of course, as we have a new guild still, I mean, we're going to be considered a new guild for quite a while. We just finished the tank raid. We're a new guild. We've got a lot of adventures to talk about, one of them being a tank raid. So we'll talk about that and some other kind of stories from the front lines of starting a new guild in 2025, because it's a weird process, man. It is a weird process. Besides that, we'll talk a little bit about a potential leaked character. It might be showing up on the holotables pretty soon. A mysterious bounty hunter.
Ooh.
But first, let's celebrate some Blurf Days. All right, we've got a few this week, and most of them came from the same year. Is that even possible? I don't know. We'll see. On the 28th, Gungan Boomadir will have been in the game for 1 full year.
Wow.
So the number of Jar Jars is going to go up a lot soon. When that all gets accelerated,
True.
then newer players will have a much faster track to Jar Jar. So that's good news.
I don't know, that Jar Jar event wasn't good news to me. I mean,
it was bum bad.
So it's like you have all these people now like, yes, I'm going to finally get Jar Jar, and then you have to go get for Jar Jar.
Oh, God, I hated it so much. So much. Let's see, who else we've got on the 30th. Ezra, the original Ezra, will have been in the game for 8 years. On the 1st, we have Pow, also turning 8 years old. And on the 3rd, Bodhi Rook.
Wow.
And you guessed it, 8 years.
Nice.
I'm actually looking up Ezra because I think I put the wrong number in there. There's no way.
I mean, I thought he was a little bit earlier, but...
No, it says 2017. Holy moly.
Now, it's kind of nice that all these years later, they finally, Bodhi, there's going to be a lot more Bodhis at Relic 5 now because of the Lightspeed bundle, so...
Yeah.
Happy birthday to them.
I didn't get any of the bundles.
Oh.
I'll get the cup one. I will be getting the cup bundle, assuming that's real.
I wonder.
But all the other ones, there's some decent deals, but I just couldn't pull the trigger on it for taking a character I don't really use from Relic 3 to Relic 5. It's a bit of an ask.
I ended up doing 3.
Yeah.
Well,
you
Bad
got
Batch,
incredible value out of those.
Yeah, right. So Bad Batch made total sense for me, and then I was able to get. I mean, Scarif Rebel Pathfinder for me. I would have never gotten that one, so that was kind of nice to be able to get that tank. Same thing with POW. I mean, I really did it boosted up 3 different teams for me. So, and I mean, I've been now putting Baze and Chirrut with my Leia. And I'll tell you what, that's pretty fun.
Yeah,
I like
that works. That totally works. I've done that. Yeah, so happy birthday, Ezra Pow Bodhi. You get like the shared party. Just rent one room at Chuck E. Cheese. Just one.
Right? Yeah, the way you said that, Ezra Powell Bodhi, that's like basically a name of some child out there that they really love Star
Ezra
Wars. And there you go,
right? Who hopefully was born in 2017.
I know, right?
All right, let's take a look at this week's upcoming in-game events. Brought to you by swgohevents.com. For a complete list of past, present, and future events, swgohevents.com is a universe of info in a galaxy of heroes. Now, there's not a lot of data right now because we're toward the end of a month and the calendars get a little goofy as they don't release that info just yet, but we do know a few things. So on the 28th, as this show releases, we'll be doing Ghosts of Dathomir to get your Night Sister zombie and spirit shards. The next day, on the 29th, we'll have Places of Power, the assault battle. The 30th will bring us Smuggler's Run 2. And then on the 31st, that's a Monday. And you know how Mondays get sometimes. Mm-hmm. We've got an Omega battle on Jakku. We've got Stardust Transmission for your Profundity blueprints. And since Conquest will be ending, we have Ultimate Journey and Proving Grounds. So there will be some good payouts there. You get your Conquest payout, your Ultimate Journey stuff. Anyone still doing characters on Proving Grounds, it's a big day.
It is. I mean, I'll tell you what, I am so grateful not to be in Proving Grounds. So if anybody is, tip of the cap. It
Proving
is not
Grounds
is
like boarding school, like you messed up, so you got to go to do your Proving Grounds stuff.
I think it's purgatory. It just, you weren't a good enough person in life, and unfortunately, no, just joking. Whoever, just totally joking with that, but still, it really is so difficult. No. You're not.
All right, so before we get into all the secret leaks and whatnot, I want to give a quick shout out to our fantastic Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you giving your hard-earned money to a couple of schmucks that make a podcast about SWGOH is a pretty cool thing that you do. So thank you very much. Your support makes this podcast possible. If you want to be one of these people that we actually appreciate instead of one of those freeloaders, no, we appreciate all of you. But if you want to support the show, patreon.com/Galactic War Report. And there's some pretty cool perks. You can chat with us before the show. You can get episodes early. Get a little shout out. Be like, big ups, Pabuapa, that kind of stuff. We could be saying your name. Big ups, freeloader. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's late, and I've been working hard today. Punch it, Pop-Tart.
All right. So, one thing we saw today, and I think it was about 6 o'clock, 6:30 or something, that came through after the update. All of a sudden, there's just an image, and it's not in like the main data mine side. It's only like in the assets piece. And so there is to me, at first when I looked at it, the image is obviously of a female, not obviously, but it's of a female. Mm-hmm. And it kind of looks like the mix between Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn.
Okay, yeah, but spiky.
A little bit, right? Yeah. So I ended up putting the image into the old AI and came back as Let's Rizzy.
Yeah, so I recognized her. I couldn't remember her name. I thought it was Sugi, which is another bounty hunter from the Clone Wars. But it's Latz Razzie. She was, pardon me, she was a bounty hunter in a few episodes. Can't remember what she did.
Yeah, right.
She had a whip because I Googled her and I found like she's got like a whip thing.
Great.
That's my breakdown of the character Latz Razzie. She's cool. What is, I don't know the species, but one of Jabba's dancers. in the special editions was the same species, where it's kind of like purplish skin, kind of spotted, spikes on kind of like the forehead area. Yeah, I don't remember. But, hey, a new bounty hunter?
It's interesting, yeah.
Could be fun.
So it says that she was seen in Clone Wars, and it was basically bounty hunter missions. She participated in the Crisis on Naboo arc. And so basically it really... Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. I mean, we could, weirdly enough, when it comes to bounty hunters, we don't have a GL for a bounty hunter. We also don't really have...
better not be the GL.
I know, right? Can you imagine if that was the case? But still, though, I mean, like...
Goodness, yeah.
That, I mean, really, it feels like Bosk, you don't really use him that much. And, I mean, regular Mando, I barely use it all anymore. So it'd be nice to have something that would, maybe a support character that gives them a little bit more juice. Not apple juice, but just regular juice. Or what? I don't know, what would that be called? Just power juice?
Like 5% fruit juice.
There you go, right?
Something, yeah.
Probably fake sugar. But so... Basically, I mean, we have no clue. We don't know if this is actually truly going to be anything true in the game. Basically, it kind of looks like just like it's the, the main tune version of her. So there's a chance this might be the model.
Yeah.
I guess we'll kind of wait and see, but kind of nice. So either way, we kind of get to see maybe a potential next person in there, or maybe it's nothing. And it's maybe just an April Fool's joke.
Well, as we've talked about a potential new raid, we look at what could this raid be, and like, if it were a Zillo Beast, okay, so you've got like Clone Wars era to pull from, and a little more. You've got Bad Batch as well, which is not that far removed from Clone Wars era, so could be part of that.
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice. I mean, I guess they did with the Tuskens, didn't they? They released the other pieces to the Tuskens right before that raid.
What if the raid... Oh, this would be so stupid. So stupid.
Let's hear it, though.
What if the raid was the box? You remember the box?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And, like, all those bounty hunters in there... If I remember correctly, the only ones who survived were Embo and Obi-Wan cosplaying Reiko Hardin.
Yeah.
So all those other bounty hunters could be a part of the stupidest raid you could imagine. A boy can dream.
A boy can dream, yes. I mean, I hope it's... I don't know, I thought they did a pretty good job with Naboo. Again, it's a raid where we're doing the same thing over and over again. But on the other side of it, like I felt like, I mean, especially when we get to the point where we can just start to sim it, that's even better. But at first, I felt like obviously having Obi-Wan's, his Omicron there, that made it pretty dang nice to do that type of... Not his Omicron, right? That's going to be for Conquest. But with Obi-Wan and Padme when they got in there, it just was a little bit easier. But I don't know.
Yep.
It still feels like, I mean, what bounty hunters don't we have right now in the game that truly would be worth kind of like big news?
No, not a lot, really. You could do a new version of Boba Fett.
True.
We've already got 2, but you theoretically could do another.
Yeah. I mean...
Besides that, I can't think of any, like, notable... I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I can't think of any notable... Asajj Ventress as a bounty hunter. Again, not a Galactic legend.
Not a Galactic legend. I mean, I always thought that it would be nice to have, like, an actual, Mando that is legit, and make him a bounty hunter, too. I would kind of wish on that one. Because, I mean, really, Bam isn't one. And he hasn't had... I mean, with Bo, it's been better, but still, he's not, like, a great character that you just have to have.
Yeah.
It would be nice to have, since he's such a big thing in the universe, but same thing with Dooku, though. I always say the same thing with him. Like, I wish he had more of a play in this game, because he played such a big deal in that. I would still take a young Dooku. Well, either way.
Oh, yeah.
Man, we're going in down the line on this one a little bit, but
we really are. We're getting into it.
I know, right? Well, yeah. So basically,
you know what it is? We're the meme of how like I don't know. I think it came from a stand-up thing or something about how like men will get together and just have like women will get together and have like a meaningful conversation, and men will just get together and like name athletes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you remember Oscar Robertson? Yeah. Back in the day, that guy was amazing. I'll tell you what, he was no Kevin McHale.
Right.
Like you just start talking, just dropping names, and it doesn't matter. That's what we're doing.
There we go. I love that though.
People tune into us.
Lance
Rezzi.
I know, right? Yeah,
that's the point.
At my work, like that's half of the sports talk because basically people come in and they're like, we're going back with stats, and I had someone the other day go through and say like, man, like how much of your day is sports talk? And I'm like, not enough, man.
Yeah.
But yeah,
no
so we don't obviously know any other details. If you get a chance, go over to the .gg and go to their data mines and take a look if you want to kind of look at her. Sounds weird to say that, but and maybe then you can speculate what's going to happen as well. So
speaking of raids, we did a raid.
We did.
Part of the pull to join this guild was like, hey, you get to like fight the Rancor, and like 3 people got to fight the Rancor. Then the tank comes around. A couple people hit the tank. I got to do both of those, so I feel pretty darn good about myself.
Only one for me. But.
And then we are on to. We had to do both of those twice, which we have now completed. And now we're on to the Sith Triumvirate, which should launch tomorrow night as we record. So, whoa, as it releases last night. Crazy.
Wow.
And I'm looking forward to that one a little less, but still a little. Get the classic him here for a stove and see if I can get a Sith Smiter achievement. Right? This is my chance. Got to do it.
I did get one before back in the day, so that was kind of nice. Yeah. It was total by luck. I hit it on auto, and it worked.
Nice.
So,
well, I'll do my homework to make sure I know what team. It's a Slicker. It's like Slicker Thrawn, some nonsense.
Yeah, it always felt like I was good until Scion. Like, all of a sudden, something dumb would happen with Scion.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, it's going really well. I'm getting him ramped up. And then, all of a sudden, he just decides that I'm going to stop playing. But on auto, it plays better than I do, so it's good.
I find that is depressingly true in so many parts of this game. So the raid has been fun. And the good news that I just realized, I thought we had to go through each raid. So we'd have to beat Sith now twice, because you have to beat it on normal and then on the heroic difficulty. And so we'll do that twice, and that's 6 that we'll have had to chew through. Plus we accidentally launched one more Rancor before we switched, I think. I don't remember which Rancor, but I think we did 3 Rancors, if I'm not mistaken. But
we did, yeah.
But we don't have to go through the Crate Dragon raid and the Endor raid. Once we're done with Sith, we have like graduated to the big raids, and we can just go back to Naboo and get grown-up rewards instead of little baby awards like we're getting now. I really look forward to that.
It's painful a little bit when you're going through it, and it's not a huge difference, I guess, with the gear that you get with it, but because you get so much of that guild currency, you've got to spend it before the next raid, and so we don't have that anymore. I feel like I've been hoarding it, and I think really doing the raids the way that they've done them, I do feel like we are able to bank getting characters up to usually relics a lot quicker. And so not having that is slowing things down a tad bit.
Kind of rough. I feel the crunch a little bit.
I mean, what are we getting, 1,000 of the first tier? I mean, that's
it's rough.
It's rough. I mean, I think we got 10. It was 10 Kenobi shards, so thank you so much for those 10.
Yeah.
And 1,000 of those first, and I'm just like, oh man.
I'll say it's much like the Rancor, where you just knock it down and it doesn't get back up.
Mm-hmm.
The tank, you drop it and it doesn't come back. I did the Rancor with Supreme Leader Kylo. I did the tank both times with Leia. And I mean, the turrets come back, the droid comes back, or droids come back, whatever, in the last phase. Rex takes a turn, everything dies. Tank's down. Cool. And then you just beat it into submission. It's amazing.
I mean, back in the day when it was actually tough, you would have been like, man, if I could just do this, it'd be the greatest day ever. Yeah. And now you're doing it like, that was
2017
easy.
Me would have loved that, but okay. I think I skipped over some stories though. I was so excited about it's yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's word online. So yeah, we got our client update prep 3/26.
Yeah.
So what this is basically doing is, and again, I'll probably let you do the fun reading part of this. So I'll just do the summary real quick. So as you get into it, so basically we've had right now marquee Datacrons. That means that you put out some money, right? You need a 7-star character, and in doing so, you got some really good things. Now, here's the difference is though is like it didn't like that one. There's no like you get the full 9, right? So it automatically unlocks it. Everything that's gonna there. But the hard part is you got to pay to get it. And so my first question is, do you think this is something that's replacing that? Or do you think this is kind of something that is just being additional?
I think it's going to replace it, is my guess. I think this is going to be much more popular than marquee Datacrons.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I've seen a lot of pushback on this. A lot of pushback. And I get it. Like, they said that they kind of made this change based on feedback that people don't like the RNG involved with Datacrons. I personally have almost no problem with the RNG with Datacrons. I really don't. Unless there's a really abusable stat on it that, like, you could re-roll and get more evasion and more evasion and more evasion. But that's just a problem with evasion to me. So the way these will work is instead of just getting them from Conquest or getting them from a marquee, these new focus Datacrons are going to be acquired through the episode shop. Your little like silver or copper token things. Mm-hmm. So I feel like people acquire those in decent amounts, and if you buy the episode pass, you got a ton of those things.
Yeah,
a ton. They've added more Omicrons to the shop, and that has kind of helped keep it so that you're spending what you're getting. Adding this to the shop too actually makes it a decision that you make. What are you spending on? And you can buy these. And the pay to acquire aspect of those marquees is so much diminished in these, because even if you don't have a whole lot of the currency, you can buy the pass for a tiny fraction of getting a character to 7 stars when it releases. I don't even know the math on that. That used to be like $300 or $400. I feel like it's been greatly reduced with the new release structure, but probably a good 200 at least.
Yeah.
Still. So like these episode passes are what, $10, $15, 20? Are they 20? I don't know.
Yeah. Let me look real quick.
I feel like it's a banana.
Yeah.
It's a banana, Michael. What could it cost? $8?
$20 for, looks like $20 for the original, and then the plus
but
is
the plus is
37.
30.
Yeah,
30. Okay, yeah. So still, it's a fraction of that. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think they're fine. The thing about these is there is no randomness. You know exactly what it's going to unlock. You spend the same resources to unlock it, but it shows even in those empty slots. It shows what it's going to be. So that's fine. It also says that they go up to level 15, though, instead of level 9. And I don't like that.
I was wondering, right?
That's the one thing that really, I don't like that, because that sets a precedent that now Datacrons can go to 15.
And it sounds like this one's also going to be more expensive to upgrade. So that's the tough part, too.
I didn't realize that.
Yep, so it's saying that it's going to be more expensive to upgrade, and you have more. So it really, again, it depends on how expensive they're going to be. If it's, like you said earlier, if you just do have the pass, you get a lot of that stuff that's saved up. Now, for me, I only use it for Omicrons. And I'm at 22,000 right now, and again, could I do better on my pass or pay, of course, but if this is going to be where it's like 4,000 just to be able to upgrade, or depending how much it is, then it's going to be kind of interesting.
Did you see the character requirements on these?
No, I didn't.
Like instead of Relic 5, it's Gear 5.
Wow.
Gear level 5.
Oh, I see that. Wow.
That's nuts.
I mean, I guess if you think of it that way, if it is going to be like this, where it's like 10% crit chance and 10% offense, and that's just basically you can use it for anybody, that's not bad, though. I mean...
Yeah, true.
Because if you just have an ability... Because I think sometimes with them, it is a little bit, like, obscure and kind of has some random stuff to it, but if I can just get 20% offense and 15% health, and it's not going to take that much, for me to get that and not to be too expensive, I'm good with that.
Yeah, agreed.
Now
they are going to release 4 of them for this first release, and they'll be available throughout the life cycle of the upcoming Datacron set.
So I want to see the bottom of this, though, because they have, on level 6, they have Kanan.
Yeah.
So what's going to be level... Like, there has to be another boss level, wouldn't there be?
Well, you know what? Oh, you know what it is? It's right under it. Level 3 is light side. 6 is Kanan. 9 is going to be a Phoenix bonus, and then an Ezra bonus and a Hera bonus. So it's going to be like a whole team bonus thing. Wow. That's interesting.
That is interesting.
That component I kind of like.
So each cost 10,000 episode currency to purchase from shipments.
Yeah. That's interesting. I didn't realize that it was going to be for multiple characters. I think that's a kind of cool idea. A
little bit. I mean, really, if it's a whole team you're upgrading, that's cool. Again, it depends on cost, right? And now on the other side of it, if all of a sudden now every 4... So if there's going to be 4 of them, I mean, and you're drastically shifting 4 teams instead of maybe doing 1 with a good Datacron, that might make a little bit more uniqueness in Grand Arena and Territory Wars, if you care about Territory Wars.
True. Yeah. Yep. I like it. I don't care.
I like it. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you think.
My only concern was, I mean, I wasn't in love with it. I was like, it's fine. But I was concerned with what the 15 means. Like, how stupid is that going to be? And I still may be concerned with how expensive it is to take it up to 15. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. But
True.
the fact that it's like a multiple character, interesting things could come out of that.
Agreed.
I like that.
So does it say when this is going to happen?
They are
Be on the lookout for information.
Updates rolling out
Yeah.
within the next week.
Yep.
But yeah.
And then it says, be on the lookout for more information on the next era at the end of the week as well.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Obviously, it sounds to me like we're going to Clone
The
Wars.
Lats Razzie era.
I know, right?
Bounty Hunter era. Let's do it. I don't know. I can't imagine if Lats Razzie is the one that we're talking about now. How exciting are the other two going to be if there's going to be 3 releases, you know?
Yeah, man. Interesting. I do like, though, I now that we've kind of had a little bit of time with the different like eras and that type of stuff, I do like it. I think it's smart. It feels like, I don't know. It feels like it's a good system.
It feels like a season. Like it. That's the intention. It's supposed to like a battle pass. You know, it feels like there's a theme to it, and it works pretty well.
Man, so that means we even got to start thinking about the next GL soon. I mean, if you think about that, I mean, that's crazy.
I don't want to think about that. I still don't have Ahsoka.
I mean, yeah, you're getting there.
I'm getting there. All right, so let's talk for a second here on the status of Conquest. Now, you said that you were not going for Max Crate this time.
Yeah, I think I've definitely decided my strategy is go leisurely and get the second to last crate.
Go leisurely and or go home.
Yeah, I mean, I decided that, I just unlocked Rey, and so that was kind of nice at the beginning of this one. So now she's working well for me. And I've only one time actually completely unlocked on the first time, and that was Queen P. So, I mean, I decided that in this case, I think I'm just going to, go through and unlock the next time, first or second time. So this, for me, I get to the gold crate, and then I am just hitting Datacrons as hard as I can. And so this time around, I mean, it was kind of nice, and got it to it really quick. So I got to the whole thing really fast, got to the second to last. I probably could go through and get red crate, but I just went through and had upgraded 7 Datacrons, 3 new character crons. So I mean, I just feel like that's going to get me in a better position in GAC. Plus, I mean, getting Rey and Ahsoka in the last little bit. Now, if Balin could just get here, I mean, I feel like I might be getting to that next tier because my defense is going to be better.
Christmas that doesn't have enough batteries for all the toys you just got,
right? That's what mods are for, and lack of mods, unfortunately. Yeah. Anytime you have light speed bundles and anytime you have like all that, and all of a sudden you're like, man, my mods aren't as good as I thought they were going to be.
Right, yeah, because now you got more people asking for them.
Now, I have been actually having a lot of fun with the actual character battles in this because it does feel like my discs really worked out well for me this time. It really, I mean, it wasn't that much crazier. I mean, I had, the normal entrenched, I had protection shield, weak point, which is I like because, as they attack and get debuffs on all characters, they get 4% offense. Then I did spirited speed, which, again, every buff, we get turn meter, so it just feels like we get a train going. Yeah. Fortified, which is, I always like that one, too. Again, that one gets you tons of defense, and you just don't die. And then, lastly, I usually do solid intel, which is whenever an ally is critically hit, they gain 10 or 12% turn meter, advantage, critical chance up, critical chance, so basically it just feeds buffs. And then you get to a point where just everything dies. I think at one point I had, Padawan Kenobi went through and did 3 million damage because it was just crazy. Again, it was, damage immunity, unfortunately, and so just kept on going, and all of a sudden Django got destroyed. So yeah, I mean, it's been actually weirdly, it's been kind of fun to play with the characters, but in general, I like this leisurely approach.
Yeah.
How about for you?
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get Max Crate.
Nice.
Now we got our reward this week for some community initiative that I was not even tracking, was not on my radar, but I got 20 Jocasta New shards.
Right.
And I said, thank you. I had already bought 20 for this Grand Arena, which means those 20 just make it so that if I max this crate, and then next time around I max the crate, I don't have to buy from the Jawas. Like, I don't have to buy the 5 shard things next time, so I can spend that on Relic stuff or whatever I happen to need. Almost certainly signal data. But yeah, I'm almost at Gold Crate. I'm at 528 out of 530 for Gold Crate. And then I've got a lot of feats that are like loaded up and just got to do a few more. So I should be able to hit Max Crate pretty easy. And I've got, like, it's working out for me pretty well that, like, I have a lot more Datacrons than I normally end up with. So I think I counted earlier. I had 7 level 9s.
Wow.
Which for me is, like, not bad. But considering we're recording this on a Wednesday, so I've got like most of a week to crank that number up. I could have easily 10 or 12, you know, which would feel pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
Although I do really kind of have all the characters. Like, you get enough characters and there's no point in going from 8 to 9 because, like, I'm only going to use so many Hut Cartel characters, you know, which ironically Hut Cartel is my worst. I think the only one I have is Cad Bane, so maybe that should be something I focus on. But yeah, it's been overall a pretty enjoyable conquest, and we get one more pass at this conquest, so it's nice to know that the next one's not going to be shocking, you know, even if the Datacrons are, the conquest won't be.
No, and I do think this one really truly hasn't been too bad. The feats haven't been horrible. It really is one that you can probably go through and really push through.
Yeah. There's a couple that are kind of annoying. It always annoys me when the Datacron nodes are just, I hate that the Datacron nodes are what they are. Like,
don't put
everyone needs to do 4. Like Sector 4, that's where you get the best rewards for upgrading these. And it's always Geonosians, and it's always, you know, you can't combine feats with that. No. You have to just sim a bunch of those and then spend the other half of your energy working on feats for stuff that you get no rewards for, just ticks on the feats.
That is the tough part, man.
That's my only gripe about it. Otherwise, pretty good conquest. Let's see. Grand Arena. Grand Arena just started. As we're recording, attack phase is going on right now for round 1. Have you started yours? Where are you sitting?
I'm sitting right now at 1388 to a whopping 0, so they have not started. Who am I going against here? Wow, this name is, I'm going to say Chulabaka, maybe?
Okay.
Chulabaka, maybe? What I love is when you pull up the defenses and you don't see any Datacrons. That is just amazing.
Always good.
And so
it tells you they don't have Datacrons, so they're not going to be as hard. But it also tells you they don't obsess over this game.
Right.
They might forget to attack.
That's what I'm hoping for. 100%. Yeah, because, I mean, really when I started looking at it, I mean, they have a Grievous team out there that honestly didn't even have all relics. So Wampa got a meal and did pretty well, which is kind of nice. And again, it's funny seeing like a Lord Vader out there. I'm not even worried anymore about Lord Vader anymore with Bo. So that was nice and easy. But I was the first time I got to use Rey, so Dark Side Rey, on that Slicker team. So that was really fun. I mean, I did notice it was a lot quicker to get to Ultimate, and she's only Relic 3, so it's not like it was a crazy thing, but it does make that a lot easier. Now I'm hoping, looks like that does okay against Leia every now and then, so I'm trying to hope to use that later on if I need to. But really, I mean, it wasn't anything too crazy. It was nice to be able to take down Rey again with Starkiller, because no Datacron, and the only one that was a little bit scary was Jedi Master Luke. And again, mirror matched that one, and it really worked out pretty well. And so, like I said, I kept gassing there because I was kind of worried. Because every now and then it seems like with Jedi Master Luke, Kenobi, I mean, like, it really seems like...
Oh, yeah, Kenobi.
Yeah, Kenobi. I said Luke 12 times. Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah.
I mean, you all know what I'm talking about. No one
I was like,
Luke,
who
right?
sets Luke on defense anymore anyways? But okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Hey, just get in my head and you're fine. You know exactly where we're going. But yeah, so I mean, basically it just kind of is one of those matches that it could just go well or it could not go well. And half the time it's all based on your speed of Cat and whether or not Kenobi's going to get that ultimate first. And so yeah, that got taken care of. And the back row, I ended up just being able to use Leia against, some pretty easy teams. I think it was Starkiller on there, and it had Trench and Radis. So I think at this point, they probably kept a ton for offense. And if they play, only thing I did, Ahsoka's now on defense. So she is, basically there. So that is a little bit nice. I do only have one of the Omicrons for that team there. So, I mean, I guess hopefully as Ezra gets there, but I think it's going to beat them anyway. If they have a Leia, they're probably going to beat it. I just want to use up that Leia.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. And then one thing we talked about in the Doth chat is I have some Tuskens in the back row because I'm a Tatooiner.
You're a Tatooiner, baby.
Rise
right?
Up. So I have decided that they are going to stay in the back row. I have to, just because it's in the name.
Yeah, I love it. I've had Tatooiners, Tuskens in my back row. I don't like this sentence. I don't like this sentence at all. I'll just stop.
Yep, that's we just got a sneaky D in the back with the Tatooiners. So, man. But yeah, so I mean, 1388 right now to 0. Let's just hope that person doesn't play. But how about for you? How'd your stream go?
Man, I streamed it. Yeah, yep. And I kind of got a not a terribly late, but a little late start to the stream. But I was still done before I'm normally done.
Yeah.
Because holy moly, things did not go my way today. I started up and I look and there's Great Mothers and Balin and just like all the most annoying teams, right? Okay, fine, whatever. But then I see that there's a Finn and Zori team. I'm like, I'll start with that. That's easy. So I use Afra, which eats that team alive. And I have BT1's Datacron. So, okay, we're gonna feast. No, dude, I lost. I lost that with a BT1 Datacron, and I just was like right out of the gate floored that would happen. So I'm shook. I don't know what else I can do. I tried Malgus versus Great Mothers. Another pretty common success, right? They would not die. They simply would not die. And I finally... Well, first of all, only 2 people do big damage on that team, and it's Malgus and Malik. And it's only their 2 second specials. Like, you do the life drain thing with Malik, and you do the big lightsaber jump with Malgus. You do those back to back, and you're going to knock somebody out. But they killed Malgus. They focused him down and killed him. And I thought, God, do I have what it takes to do this even? slowly, I finally get through their Marin. Because they've got a zombie and a Daka and a Marin. And come on, man. So I finally can focus on Marin and at least knock her out. And I'm like, at least I want to beat one, right? Could I maybe do more? And I took Daka out. And I'm like, oh my God, we're doing this. And I took Great Mothers out, and I took Morgan out, and I ran out of time before I could take Zombie out. So there's 2 dropped battles. And at this point, I'm like, well, this is 5v5. 2 dropped battles is pretty tough to come back from. But I cleared out the top sector, cleared out fleets. That all worked well. So I'm looking at these 2 clean-up teams. I'm like, you know what? There's a Grievous here. I'm going to lose this round, I'm pretty sure. Let's just see how Gas does against this Stap Omicron. Or Datacron. Not very well. That went south very fast, and I just said, you know what? I think we're done here. And I just checked, and they have cleaned me out. It was FN 2075, put up 1795. No defenses, so congratulations. You FN won. All right. I'm salty.
I was gonna say FN what?
Yeah. I'm salty, and I just want to just curl up and sulk. But before we do that, we got to tell these people who you grinded.
Man, this is another one of those weeks where it doesn't feel like a lot, but it's a lot to me. Actually, no, it kind of does. So, biggest thing is going to be Ahsoka. She was Relic 5 last week, so she is currently Relic 7. I'm going to keep her at Relic 7 at this point. I don't have too many of my... I think Leia's my only Galactic Legend that's above a Relic 7. It just works out. So, right now, she's 8 out of 10 for her ultimate. It's really easy, to be honest. So, a couple more, and then we're good, and I can finally start to work on some shards of the Bad Batch there. So, looking forward to Omega, right? So that's going to be... She's able to, but yeah, that was the main piece. Now, I did say earlier for, Conquest, Darkside Ray, did get her unlocked, got her to Relic 3, did give her Omicron and Zeta for In Our Nature. That's kind of nice. Again, I don't think it made a huge difference in this one, but it was pretty fun as a whole. Now, I will say the Power of the Wallet did work out, so all the Bad Batch now are done for Lord Vader, right? So that does... I moved one step closer, and all those Rogue One characters, again, got up to Relic 5, so that was kind of nice. So my next project is going to be Zelbar for the Guild, getting him up to Relic 6. Probably going 7, because I don't like... why I have Relic 6. It just doesn't feel right. So.
I get you. 4 and 6 just don't...
No, just no. It's like trying to do like 1. 1 feels
3,
really weird.
5, 7, 8, 9. Those are the only acceptable numbers.
To be honest, I don't think I don't do 3 anymore. Like right now I have to do 3 because she's, I just don't have any signal data, but...
Oh, yeah.
I think 5 is the minimum now for me. It's weird. I'm just boozy like that.
I guess so.
But yeah, so that's going to be the next Zelbar, and debating on whether or not just to bring Mission up a little bit too. But still, I'll get that taken care of, and then hopefully we can get this next event coming in. I heard Balin event is pretty fun as well. Fun meaning not fun, but fun.
I don't want to hear that.
It's just fun. But yeah. So
unfortunate.
Speaking of fun and the lack there or more thereof, plus minus, I don't know where I'm going with this, but who you grinding?
Well, my Ahsoka journey is not... I'm not taking her into relics yet. I'm still grinding Padawan Sabine and Huyang. So she is up to 72 out of 100, and he... went from 56 up to 74 out of 100. So soon, within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard not to look at ways to... I mean, you're at that money point where you're like, crystals and money are like...
Oh, that's probably going to happen.
Right?
Yeah. Crystals at least, like 800 crystals to just do it today. Let's get it started, so that's where we're at there. Bad Batch, I am tracking now.
Wow.
I've been grinding Omega. I have her at 34 out of 85. I have much higher on mine because I bought those Ascension packs, which, it was a few packs, but they start real cheap and then they get a little less cheap, but that, and then I bought a couple of the gamble packs when they came out. Again, just with crystals that I had sitting around. So she's at 34 out of 85. Batcher is at 64 out of 65. Hunter at 26 out of 85. And Crosshair at 50 out of 65. So I wasn't tracking the progress I made on Omega, but I will going forward. Peridia Patrol. That was a thing that I mentioned I probably ought to do. So Enoch last week was at Relic 8. He still is. Nibbler and Night Trooper, I took both of them from Relic 7 up to Relic 8. So nice. I can do the second to last tier on that. And I don't think I'm going to take them to 9 until Balin could, we have no intel that's telling us this, but could come any day. And I'm pretty close to finishing Ahsoka stuff, so I'm not trying to go from 8 to 9 right now, but let's see, other miscellaneous things. I took Jawa Engineer from Relic 3 to 5.
Feels awesome,
for territory battle. And then I also am I have volunteered to take Low Gray. I took him from 3 to 5. I volunteered to take him all the way to 7. So we're doing that. As far as Zetas and Omicrons, I have 2 Zetas built and 1 Omicron built. And I'm kind of until I get Balin, I'm holding on to 3 Zetas and an Omicron because I'm going to want to maximize that as soon as I get him. And then after that, I seriously, I mentioned last week, I've got 2 for Farm Boy Luke, 1 for Krennic, and 1 for Night Sister Initiate. So I'm not in a big rush to go spend those because that's all I could spend them on at this point. Quick note before we head out. I will be out of town next week, unplugged.
Me too.
I'm not going to be here for you guys. So deal with it.
Yes.
Go touch grass, nerds. No, I'll be out of town. I'm visiting some family next week. So we will be back after 2 weeks, and hopefully there'll be a plethora of news for us. But I'll just keep my fingers crossed for a couple weeks, and we'll see. That's all we got for you this week. It may not be the best advice, but at least we didn't recommend spending those last 4 Zetas on Farm Boy Luke, Krennic, and Initiate. If you want to continue the conversation, join our Discord server. It's linked in the show description. Become a real live Jawa by supporting us on Patreon, and share your thoughts by leaving us a podcast review. Big thanks also go out to Pabuapa and SWGOH.GG and SWGOHevents.com for providing all the hard data we misinterpret weekly. Thanks for tuning in, and may the Force and RNG be with you.